Hi everyone, it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. How are you doing today? I know it's a little dark. I have the hardest time with lighting in this camper. And I apologize for that. That's all I can do is apologize. I don't know what to do to make it better. Maybe straight on is better. No, you still get the shadow. It's no matter what I do. So we're just gonna deal with it, right? So welcome to my channel. This is Charm Grammy Crochet, and as I said, I'm your host. I'm Lynette, and I'm coming to you from Dee Dee, my camper, where we live now. So my channel is about crochet, the yarn community, and our travels in our camper. And I know it's been a minute since I've really been putting out any videos, and I apologize for that as well. We've been busy, and honestly, I can't get a decent lighting in this camper. If I turn on the main lights in the camper, it's nice and bright, but we get a flicker, and I am like, no. So I thought it was bright enough in here without the lights, but it was dark. So I had to turn some lights on. I'm not getting a flicker, but we've got shadows. It's been gloomy and rainy. We're in Kentucky right now, and we have lots of travel videos to film, or I need to record, and I'll get to them. But we've been, like I said, we've been busy, and it's been hard for me to find a decent place to record. When we were in the Gulf, it was very hot, and sunny and wonderful, and we were out enjoying the weather, and then come back and I'm like tired. I'm not making a video now. And then the next day we were busy again. I did try to make a video while we were driving and traveling, and I was doing the talking, and I'm going to tell you, I accidentally deleted it when I was trying to I deleted the video. So that one's gone, and it was hard to do because I kept dropping the phone. I have this little phone holder thing for the car, and it kept falling down, and I'm like, oh good lord, this isn't working. So, and then it's just finding the time to make the videos. So it's really supposed to be making dinner, but it is what it is. We arrived in Kentucky yesterday on Thursday. Today is Friday. Pardon me. And it was raining all day yesterday, and it rained most of the day today till maybe 2 o'clock. So we did laundry and we did grocery shopping, and came back and put that away. And Roy's laying down. We eat a snack because I was hungry, and I'm supposed to be cooking dinner. But I'm talking to you instead. I do have some crochet. I did go to a yarn store. So let's talk about that first, because it's kind of exciting. I went to, this is not part of that. I went to Terri's Yarns and Crafts. Here is her card. She does do, so take a screenshot of that if you'd like. She does do mail order. She has beautiful yarns in her store, and I will insert a video that I made there, but let me show you. Okay, no, I'll insert the video here, then I'll show you what I bought. She does not only crochet there, they have like a craft area. So she sells in her store yarn and hand-dyed yarn, which she dyes wool, so obviously I couldn't buy that, but it's beautiful, and I show you her, you'll see her yarns, and she sells like embroidery floss and things of, flossy things, but they also paint, and it was paint day the day that I was there. And she is in, I forgot to tell you, I think she is in Tennessee. Yes, she's in Sevierville, Tennessee. So before coming here, we were there. We were in Pigeon Forge. A whole nother video. I would link it, but it's not made yet, so I can't do that. So just watch out for it. But I'm doing yarn in this video, and I will do travel in the next video. And I apologize for the street noise if you can hear that. We are in this, outside of this nice cute little lake. And maybe I'll take a picture and insert that at some point. And it's like a very rural neighborhood, but there's a main street like right there. So that's kind of funny to me. So anyway, let me pause this video and insert, and then I'll show you what I got at her store and tell you other things, really cool things. But so we'll do that.
Did I get him off of something else? Maybe I got him. Oh, there he is. I'm doing him right now. A coloration like that. I've done the rest one. I'm going to do that. Every one of them is
Lots
different.
of patterns.
You can leave that up there. Okay.
Beautiful yarns. And this is her hand dyed.
You don't have 053,
Mountain Shades.
the variegated ones? Let's see. I have
They are
some.
so pretty,
There's 6
but they're wool.
Looks like no.
She has lots of makes along
Yeah,
the way.
it's the black, white, and gray one. Yeah. Okay, I still got a little bit. This will hold me, because I can combine this and tweed these two together.
These are
and-
pretty cottons. I'm gonna look for something to make some fingerless gloves for myself for summer.
Get one of these too, 'cause I don't have any pure white.
And she suggested this bamboo. Bamboo sock pop.
I'm not through snooping. Go right ahead.
Because I wanted cotton, and she suggested this gorgeous. This is sugar cane. How much is on here? Oh, here we go. 153 yards. It's beautiful. They have it in lavender. I might just have to buy this. Then we'll go down there in a minute. These are acrylics, an eyelash, and more pretties. Some Lion Brand. Look at these, so gorgeous. Now this is cotton. I really like this one. Uh, 144 yards. But this is the one that she's suggesting.
These are my hand dyed.
It's really nice and soft, even
You dyed those?
even made up. It's really nice and soft. I'll probably get that.
These are super wash.
Make lots of gloves with that.
25%. Nylon, except this one had a-
Maybe I'll get some of that to put with it.
These are slightly larger skeins and they have 20% Angora. 80% honey, 20% Angora. They will felt.
I am going to put this off to the side because I think I'm going to buy that. And then she has threads in here.
I can get by with some.
Oh, thank you.
And she does other crafts in here. They paint. She's painting every other Wednesday. Today is painting day.
I never have too much yarn.
Pantone's yarns down here. She does have mail order. Look at how pretty those are. Oh, I love the purple. More pretties over here. Here's some Bernat Handicrafter. Yep, feels like kitchen cotton. Oh, these are pretty little guys.
Yeah, well, it used to be when you paid 35 cents or something like that for the authorization, then plus all of the. Oh, yeah, white feet, then a percentage. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Today is paint day.
No, don't need to take that from me either.
So what are you gonna do with your blisters?
Oh, they'll go in a quilt. I'm basically a quilter. That's why I said we always used to do the quilt showdown. You know Maria Holloway? Yes, she's a very good friend, her and Nancy both. And she got us into the quilt show back in the late 90s. And we always were sponsors.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. So at Terri's store, I bought this yarn I had never heard of before. Sugar cane yarn. Look at that. Do you see it? I hope you get some of this wonderful light. It's a tan color. It's very dark looking. Oh gosh, my camera is getting darker and darker. I'm try to pull you more into the light. There, maybe now you can see the color. I wish you could see it from this lighting angle. It's a tan. It's silky. It has a silky feel to it. Kind of it's a cotton. It's sugar cane. Let's see, what does it say? Yes, it is 100% viscose from sugar cane, and it feels like silk, like the silk ribbing on your baby blanket. You know what I mean? That silk edge on a blanket. That's like silky like that, and I can imagine that it will just slide through your fingers. And my hank is unhanking, so I'm sorry about that, but it was $15.49 for 153 yards, and I bought the neutral color. She had it in a couple of different colors. Pardon me, I can't remember for sure what colors they were. I know there was a bright white, like just regular white. There was I'm gonna say a dark purple, which I really wanted, but I bought this to make, and one other yarn, and I'll show you that in a second, to make fingerless gloves because of my vitiligo. The sun in the summer, in the warm weather, in the hot sun of the Gulf and Florida, my hands were getting brutalized by the sun. They were getting blisters on them, and I was wearing sunscreened up, but these are like, so I mean, it is what it is. That's what happens. But if the sun is going to be that hard on me this year, some years it's not hard on me at all. Other years it's really bad. I think it depends on how flared up I am at the time, how crazy my hormones are going. What I don't really know the details of why. Some years it's really bad, and some years it's not. But if I'm going to end up getting blisters, I need to really protect my hands and cover them. In other years when it's been that bad, I've worn gloves. Well, now that I crochet, I thought I'm going to try to make myself some cute fingerless gloves. Only because I have to be able to use my fingers and, you know, curl your hand and you're okay. But it's been a long time since the sun has bothered me that bad. But I don't want to take any chances because your skin hurts when it's in, you know, blistered. So the other yarn I bought is this yarn, and the label is in here. There it is. Here we go. I got something in my eye. It's called Charm. So how could I not buy a yarn called Charm? It is 100% cotton. And I think it is maybe Spanish, Mexican. That's the, like it's written in this. It was $10.99 for 396 meters of this 100% cotton, and it is very soft. It is a DK weight, and there's no cone in here. This is all 100% of this is yarn. So it's a lot of yardage. But it's really soft. It reminds me of maybe I Love This Cotton, that kind of soft, but thinner. I think it's thinner, or it's wound tighter. I don't know. But it's like, it's squishy and surprising because, you know, cotton doesn't always squish, but this does have a squish factor to it. And I wanted really neutral because I want to be able to wear it with like anything, but I didn't want white. Obviously, it's on your hands, it's going to get real dirty. So I went with this very neutral light color. And this will be fancy gloves. This is going to be like an everyday glove. And I probably, if I don't hate wearing them, because wearing gloves in the summertime can be an issue, but I'm just kind of, she sold me a pattern that she made herself, and it's called Lacy Fingerless Mitts, and this is what they look like. This is not quite what I am doing. Her name is Ava, by the way. Terri was the granddaughter of the person who she bought the store from. But it is a paid for pattern, so I can't give you any of the details. But I'm not quite following her. I'm using a different yarn, first of all, and secondly, she used a 3mm hook, I think, with an alpaca yarn, and I don't have a 3mm hook here. But I kind of started doing my own thing. So I did some ribbing at the bottom in the round. I did 5 rows of just a double crochet rib, and now I did 5 rows of a double crochet with the cross, you know, just that little, you make the X, and I did the go behind, in front, whatever was easier. I went in front because it was easier when I crossed. And now I have just gotten to the part where I'm going to put my thumb in, and then I'm just going to do double crochet. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, like the 6th row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I finished the 6th row with the thumb, so 5 rows before you put the thumb in. And what I did, and I'll probably have to count my stitches for the next one, but because I'm doing it in the round, I just did the X's until my stitch marker placeholder. I mark the last stitch of the round. I know a lot of people, when they're doing stuff in the round, they mark the first stitch. Works better in my brain if I do the last stitch. I mean, it's only 1 stitch, but it makes a big difference in my head. So I wanted just a short space here, and then I'm not doing the thumb itself because I want my hands to be able to work. I just basically want the back of my hands to be covered. So round 6 was the round that I put the thumb in, and I crocheted the X's until I got my stitch marker to the inside of my palm. So if there's going to be any bumps or anything from, you know, ending it off, it'll be on the inside of my palm, not on the back of my hand. So I just went around and crocheted until this was not in front of me. I mean, not behind my hand or on the side. I just put that in the palm. And I did 8 single crochet here, which will be 4 X stitches. And I just did an even number. I think I did 38. You know, when you chain and do the single or do the double crochet at the starting double crochet chain, right? I did 38 of them, and then I went right into the cross, making the X stitch. And then I just kept going in the round until it was as tall as I wanted it to be. And then I put my thumb in, and then I'm just going to continue for maybe another 4 rounds, I think. 3 or 4 rounds till it's up to above, like below my first knuckle. I'll probably do the last row is just a double crochet row. Or maybe I'll do a single crochet border on the edge. I'll probably do that, a single crochet border on the edge. We'll see what it looks like. I could do a scallopy little edge, which might be kind of cute, but I don't want it to be bulky. I don't want it to be in the way. You know, it needs to be where I can be outside and function and do things and not have it be intrusive. I'm not going to like garden in these gloves or anything like that. I'm not going to garden, period. But just if I'm outside walking or, you know, just being outside. Anyway, so that is what I'm making. And so far, I'm going to tell you, they feel really nice on this yarn feels really nice on my hand, on my skin. My skin is a little bit sensitive and delicate, and it feels nice. It doesn't, I think, even though it's got holes, I think it'll cover well enough that I'm not going to get sunburned, and yet the holes will keep my hands from being hot and then not wanting to wear. If I'm uncomfortable, I'm not going to wear them. I mean, I'll be like taking them off, and then they're not going to do any good, and then I'm going to be whining because my hands are burnt. So trying to avoid all of those things right there. Okay, so that is what I bought there, and my pattern I bought. And like I said, I didn't read the pattern before I started to make the gloves, and that's fine. I'm not unhappy with the pattern, or with having the pattern. I just didn't have the right size hook, and I'm sure I could have fudged it anyway. But when I started crocheting, I'm like, oh, I just think I'm going to do this. So that's what I did. I didn't even read the whole pattern. Now, the other really cool thing that I talked about with Ava is they do, this will be the 3rd year. This happens in, I think she said October. Nope, August. This happens in the whole month of August. They do this. This is the 24 season paper. 25 says get your on the back side of this. There is a little code. I think it still works. I'm hoping, I haven't looked at it myself, but I'm hoping the information is the updated information for 2025. But, and this year it's 19 local yarn shops, where last year it was 18. And it's all across the state of Tennessee. They'll give you a map if you buy your tickets, and I don't remember if she told me how much the tickets were. But it's 19 different yarn stores, so, you know, they say get your little group together, go visit Tennessee for a long weekend, or, you know, a sister's getaway, and do the tour at every yarn. That they're all local yarn dyers, and every yarn stores, and at every shop they have one skein, mini skeins that were dyed specifically for this festival. You can't get them except when you come in with your passport and you get your little hole punched or whatever you do. Then you can get these little mini skeins. Now, after August, then it's a free for all. I guess you can buy them if you want to. But there's with that, I think she said there's 4 crochet and 4 knit patterns designed specifically to use these yarns with. And I thought, how fun is that? That is like just so fun. So I'm going to talk to my friends about this because that could be a good time. You don't have to go, I mean, it's the whole month long. So, and you hit as many of them as you can. I guess if you hit them all, it's 600 miles, but you don't have to drive that far. Then she also has classes, and here are, if you want to take a screenshot of that, if you're going to be in Tennessee, or if you live in the Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, any of those areas, this is her. She gave me that to be able to show you guys class schedule. But the tour thing sounds like a great deal of fun. The yarns in her shop were beautiful, and it was a cute little place. So that was my local yarn store sorry, I can't talk now. That was my local yarn store in Tennessee. I got this yarn out because I was going to start, this is what I got it from the wool market when we went there, and it's called Vintage Red, and it's a cotton fingering weight, 100% organic cotton, and I was going to do the gloves in this, like I had pulled this out to make gloves with it, and I thought that'll be a really good, I'll do that. And then I went to Terri, and I bought the other yarn, and I thought, oh, I'm going to try that. So let's get caught up on other things. So my luck of the draw, if you don't know what luck of the draw is, it's a blanket pattern. This is luck of the draw 10. So it's the 10th time that we've done a luck of the draw. This is Boggy Creek style, so it's a limited only 10 weeks that you make a blanket or whatever you want to make. I have made market bags, tote bags, I should say. I have made ruanas. I've made blankets for Boggy Creek. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And people have made amigurumis. So you can make whatever you want. This week of the luck of the draw 10, when Trisha, Mama Swift, and her channel will be linked below. And if you want more on how to do it and how it works and all that, see Mama Swift. I'm not going to go into all the details. This video will be way too long. But normally luck of the draw is a 20 weeks for a full size blanket. So if you wanted to make this blanket, you can replay and do it twice, or do it in reverse order, or just watch 2 different luck of the draw Boggy Creek style, or go back and watch my God, Nan from Nan's Next Knots. She started this whole thing, and I'll link her below. Watch one of her videos and her luck of the draws. It was her original design, but this is my luck of the draw 10 Boggy Creek style. This is what it's looking like. Today is Friday, so I did not do yesterday's number yet. I don't even know what my color is for yesterday's number, but this is what I'm looking like right now. And I don't even know how long it is. I can't, how wide it is. Oh no. Okay. I have my phone plugged in and I just knocked the cord. But it's not 40 inches. I know that. A Boggy Creek blanket in the it being square is 40 inches square, 35 to 40 long, 40 to 50 wide if you're doing a rectangle. What is Boggy Creek, you ask? Camp Boggy Creek is a camp in Eustis, Florida for handicapped children, or not handicapped, chronically ill. There's a difference. So these kids go to camp. It's a very special camp. I'm going to try to link a card to I'm going to put a video at the end of this. It's like 5 or 6 minutes long. Talks all about Boggy Creek Camp. I think I got through it without crying, so yay for me. Once you watch it once, you don't need to ever watch it again. But if you have questions, it'll be there at the end of this video. I think I'm going to post that as an actual video, and then I can just link it if you want to watch it. Not really sure how to do that, so until I figure out how to do that, it'll be at the end of this video. Watch it if you want to. Don't if you don't want to. I'm completely fine either way. But this one is going to camp for the kids. The color for this week that she picked. So every week there's a color. And these are all, by the way, Big Twist neons. And then there's the color of, so that's the color of the week, and then there's a main color. So my color of the week, I'm doing 3 rows, and my main color, I'm doing 1 row. This pattern is Mama Swift's Sweet Marshmallow Kisses blanket pattern, which will be in, it is a tutorial by Jax from Creations by Jax, and that's in the playlist. There's a playlist listed in the description box below called Boggy Creek Camp Boggy Creek Blankets, or Boggy Blanket Brigade Blankets, something like that. You'll see it. But everyone that has designed blankets specifically for Boggy Creek, you can make them for not Boggy Creek, and you can make them bigger, you know, or whatever. You can make anything out of them you want. But people have done blankets specifically for Boggy Creek. Trisha has done a couple of them. And those blanket patterns tutorials are all in that playlist below. So if you are interested, that's this one, and my color, I think, yep. I think this might be the last one I do. And I think this is my color for this week. If I don't have enough to go around 3 times, what I think I will do is do this and then add 1 of each of my other colors until it's 40 inches. Because this color is called Teal. This is the Teal by Boggy Creek. I don't know that I have another one of these, and I'm not gonna go. My plan was, if I was getting low, some of them I had extra of, and some of them I don't. So my plan has been, if I was getting low and it was close, I would do either change out the color to something I have enough of, or just end the blanket with rows of yarn, as much as it takes to use up these yarns. So and I think that would be cute as a border, just to have 1 row of each color. But I'm going to start with the teal, and I'll go around until it's gone. I don't think it's enough for 3 rounds, but maybe 2, maybe 1. But then if it's not, then I'll just do 1 round of each of the other colors, and hopefully then it'll be 4 inches or 40 inches, and it'll be done. So that's my plan with my Boggy Creek blanket. I really like this one. I love the pattern. Trish did a great job. Jaxie did a great job on the tutorial. It's very squishy. I'm using a 6mm hook. That's my go-to for most everything. On my fingerless gloves, I forgot to tell you, I am using I think the 4mm. I'll tell you. Maybe it's a 3.75. It's the pink one. It is a 3.75. That's the smallest hook I I think I own. I was afraid to use it, to be quite honest. I'm like, no, it's scary. So then the other thing I did do a little bit of work on one night is my top, which really, you guys, this should be done by now. But I haven't been crocheting in the car because we're driving in places that we haven't always been on the highway. And if you're on like a major highway, like 75 or 90 or 71, those are highways that I'm familiar with. You're driving it and you see like nothing but nothing. You know, there's nothing to look at, no little towns, no, you miss everything that you're driving past, but you get to go fast. But then there's these like side highways that you're going through a lot of. Here in Mississippi, in Tennessee, we're going through a lot of rural area where it's just pretty to look at. And I'm not wanting to crochet. I just want to sit and watch the scenery that's going by. If we're lucky, we get to go through some little towns, but you know, we're pulling the camper, and if we were just in the car, I would be like, oh, just drive all the little towns. I love doing that, and I love taking pictures of it, and I would love to show you those little towns. Pulling the camper, going through little towns, you're already slow. We drive no more than 300 miles in a day. When we're pulling the camper, that's like the standard rule of thumb. And it makes a long, slow drive. And I'm not driving, but if we're on the not major interstates, I like to look at the scenery, and I'm not, and then I'm not crocheting because I'm looking at the scenery. I'm not getting nearly the amount of crochet done on this, with this new lifestyle as I thought I would. To be quite honest with you, at the beginning, when we were in the colder weather in February, we weren't going really a whole lot of places or doing a whole lot because it was too cold, and the places that we were, everything was outside, you know, hiking trails and, you know, that kind of thing. Well, it was 30 degrees outside. I'm not hiking. I'm not having it. So I did more crocheting then, but we were looking for things to do too, and then I'm again sightseeing, and I wasn't crocheting in the car. And now we are, I haven't, like I said, I've been like tired to even make videos, so I'm busy, you know, when we're not on the road, that I'm busy. And then the lighting in here at night, I can't videotape because the lights flicker. There's only 2 lights in this little section on, and they're not flickering. They're not making the thing flicker. But anyway, so I didn't mean to get off on that tangent. But I am making this top, and I don't remember if I wrote down the name of the pattern. Crochet Flower Top. And I will have it linked in the description box because I don't remember who it's by. But you just, what I am doing, I don't remember even. She made sleeves. I am not making sleeves. Mine is going to be like a boat neck, and then it's just going to have little cap sleeves as to wherever they come to. Like, I'll do the neck to like here, and then the sleeves will come over however far down my sleeves as they come. But this is, let's see, I can spread it out for you. I did start this. I saw a girl wearing this at the Fiber Festival, and I started it shortly thereafter, and that's what you can see, that's like what the flower design looks like. To make one design, it's 25 stitches across, and it's 7 rows, I think. With the pattern, like, she goes into row 8 and then repeat, but actually row 8 is row 1. They're the same row. I don't do it twice, I just go on. So I did a little bit of a border at the bottom, and I will do that at the top. It's just you know, a row of double crochet. This is mostly all double crochet and chain, and then some single crochets in here. Everything else is double crochet and chains, so it's very easy. This is the hardest part was writing down the pattern. I made notes and wrote it down so I would know where I'm doing what and not hit, because I won't remember. But this is the front. I think this will be the front, because I don't think I'm going to have any pinks, any of the pink colors. I don't think are going to come up here on the back. This is, I bought 2 cakes. I'll stay in there. I bought 2 cakes of this Caron right here. And you see, you can see here, it's got the pink. And I started from the middle with the front panel, and it started on the brown, and then it went into the pinks right away. Well, on the second panel, I went to the outside to do the brown, but I don't even know if I'll get into this color, into the tans. I think it's going to be mostly the darker and the lighter brown. I don't think I'm going to get into the very light tan color here that goes into the yellow, which I don't have any of that color on the front either. So hopefully it'll just be the first 2 browns. And anyway, I'm going to put this part at the back because I want the pinks on the front. I mean, I could do better job at color controlling, but there's not that much of the pinks left in here that I would be able to match it. I did buy 2 cakes, and I could have taken it apart and done it that way. But you know what? I don't care that much. I think the top's cute, and I don't care if the back is more solid and the front is not. And I gave the other cake because I knew I wasn't going to need it, you know, unless I took it apart, and I wasn't going to do that. I just didn't feel I didn't feel it necessary, honestly. So I gave the other one to my friend Bree. I gave it to her daughter because I felt like, what am I going to do with it? And I met up with Bree at one of our stops in between. And anyway, I met up with my friend Bree and her husband and her kids, and her daughter crochets. So I'm like, if you like this yarn, you can have it, because I'm not going to need 2 full cakes, and I don't do a lot of 3-weight. And what is the color? I got it at I think it's called Meowth or something like that. I got it at, it's the color they carry at Walmart. I bought it at a Walmart in, I think it's the bonus bundle. Meowth, yeah. Oh, it doesn't have a swatch. I thought it had a color swatch on here, but it doesn't. It just shows you that little thing right there. And it is a 3-weight yarn, and I like 3-weight yarn. Oh wait, what was I showing you? Oh, there's the name. I bought it at a Walmart, I think in Mississippi. When we got to Mississippi, we went to Walmart to go shopping, Lynanne and I liked that color and thought it would be nice for the top, so I bought it. I bought 2 just to make sure that I had enough. And after finishing the first half of the top, and there's still so much yarn left, I'm like, yeah. And I don't know what else I would want to make in that yarn that I would want, like 2 garments or whatever. I guess I could have, made a boggy blanket out of it, but she'll enjoy having it. So I gave it to her. And washcloths. I did make washcloths. I am caught up to date up until Wednesday's washcloth. I think we start the summer ones. Well, I'm not completely caught up to date, but I did the last two of the spring ones. Like, I think I'm missing one or two of the spring ones. I don't know which ones they are. I may or may not go back and look. But I forgot to bring them out here, and they're in where Roy is sleeping, so I'm not going to wake him to get them for you. And this video is already long. I've been chatting because I haven't talked to you in so long, and I have so much more to talk about as far as trip stuff goes. So right now we're in Kentucky. I have family that lives in Kentucky, and I'm hoping to meet up with them before we leave. We're going to be here for about a week, and they're calling for a lot of rain. So depending on the weather, I may or may not get caught up on videos. And you know what we're doing. My old Kentucky home is here. It's an old plantation, and I went there as a kid. I'm gonna say younger than 10, and I remember it making a really huge impression on me as to the lifestyle the rich and famous kind of people lived back in the, I'm gonna say 1800s. Maybe older than that. I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. But you go there, and I think they're all dressed in period clothing. You know, the people that work there, and you can do this. You used to be able to do a guided tour, and they tell you all about the house, and they tell you about enslaved people, and they tell you about the rich and famous. And Stephen Foster wrote a song there, My Old Kentucky Home. He wrote it on the piano that is, I believe, the one that's still in the house to this day, and it's like still has all the original, I think. That's what I remember from as a kid, is that it was 100% furnished, and it was like original furnishings, original dishes, a lot of stuff you weren't allowed to touch. Well, nothing. You weren't allowed to touch anything, really. But as I recall, it was gorgeous and impressive, and affluent, of course. But you get to see the grounds. Now they have a golf course on the grounds, and they also have a campground on the grounds. So when we were making our plans to come to Kentucky, and I knew I wanted to go see my old Kentucky home again, and I would like Roy to see it, so I wanted to, and I like am looking up campgrounds, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they have a campground there. How perfect. Let's go stay there. But it's under construction. They're remodeling the campground, and I don't know about the golf course. The woman that runs the campground where I was staying at said she thought that the house was not open for tours, but I think that it is. We've done a little research, and I think that it is, and so we will go there. Even if we can't go in the house, some of the grounds is still it's a state park, my old Kentucky home state park now, and some of it is open. We drove past. Today was rainy, and we were doing laundry and grocery shopping, and we drove past the state park sign in front of the buildings, and so I'm like, oh, funny, that's where I want to go. So we will go there another day. Abraham Lincoln's birthplace and house is in this area. There's some Daniel Boone things, I think, in this area. There's also some Civil War museums that Roy would love to go to. So we're going to try to get in those things and to see my family. We're going to try to get in those things while we're here. And the town that we're staying in is Bardstown. And we haven't driven down the main street of Bardstown yet, I don't believe. But they have won, like, cutest small town in America type of awards. 2 different awards like that, twice. Well, once each. 2 different type of, like, cutest little towns in America. So I'm really anxious to see that. But like I said, it was raining, and so we took that opportunity. We needed to get some groceries in, and um, rainy days are always a good day to do laundry. Go to the laundromat. That's one thing I miss about living in the camper versus my own house is that um, you have to go to a laundromat. And uh, the good news is the laundry gets like a week's worth of laundry. You throw everything in. You can use up a bunch of washers, get it all done at one time. So you can do a week's worth of what would take you, several loads, several hours at home is like, an hour and a half at the laundromat. So that's not so bad. And then like I said, we went to the grocery store, and then we came back and then you have to fold all those clothes and put all those clothes away. You don't have that takes a while. So we did that, and now it's now. So now it's now. It's not raining, and I hope that the rain is gone. They had some flooding in the area, and I think they closed the schools today because of possible floods. Roy said something about that. He got a alert on his phone or something. So I didn't know Kentucky flooded like that. And maybe it's a new thing, but she said the weather has been really weird here as well. This past winter has been really crazy for everywhere, I think. I don't think, like when we were in Arkansas, it was record-breaking cold. Like new record lows. I said, I think it was following us, and I apologize to Arkansas for that. So anyway, that's really all the crochet I have for you. All the chit-chat for now. I have to remember to insert the video from the Terri's yarn store. If you're in the neighborhood, check it out. Make a special plan with your friends to go visit. Definitely see if you could make a plan to go to the tour in August in Tennessee. Excuse me. And Pigeon Forge in Sevierville and Gatlinburg, those areas are so beautiful and so nice, and so much to do in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. That place has really grown up like crazy since the last time we were by Pigeon Forge. So there's plenty of places to stay. But I'm excited about that whole deal. I think it would be really a fun weekend for crochet people. I got a tickle in my throat. Good time to let you go. Check out the Boggy Creek video at the end of this if you want to, if you're new to Boggy Creek or what Boggy Creek is. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Camp Boggy Creek. Camp Boggy Creek is a very special camp for chronically ill children. 3 years ago, Nancy from She's Got Yarn, Billy the Crafty Floridian, and myself learned about Camp Boggy Creek from Nancy's mom and her women's group. And we were asked to make blankets, and we came up with the idea to ask you all to help make blankets for these sick kids. They go to camp. Camp is free. Camp is in Eustis, Florida. It's free to the families and to the kids. They have the kids go to camp all through the summer. Every week, it's a week-long camp for the chronically sick children. And then during the school year, they do family retreat weekends, and the kids and their siblings and their parents all get to go for the weekend. Every kid leaves camp with a hand-knitted or crocheted blanket. They also have a teddy bear that they get that's sewn. That pattern is on the Camp Boggy Creek website. If you are a seamstress, they also accept quilts. Again, that information will be on their website. But Nancy, Billy, and I said, oh, we need to reach out to the crochet community and ask for blankets.
Blankets are 35 to 40 inches wide, 40 to 50 inches long. As I said, every kid leaves camp with a blanket. If your blanket is too small or too big, because you know that happens sometimes, don't rip it out. Send it anyway, because they will use it. At camp, there are always doctors and nurses and pharmacists that specialize in. Oh, well, I guess the pharmacist isn't a specialist. He's pharmacist, you know. But anyway, doctors and nurses that specialize in the illness that they are taking this week. They have a trauma center. They can make take their blood today and make the medication today, so that their medications are, you know, like, it is so top notch. I can't even express how much consideration is taken into taking care of these sick kids. They have plastic wheelchairs so they can go swimming. Kids that have never been able to be in the water. They do horseback riding. They have Universal Studios sponsors a theater, because camp was started by Paul Newman and Arnold Schwarzkopf, General Arnold Schwarzkopf, and others, but they're the two main ones. And there are 9 camps in this country, and all 9 camps is free to the kids. I don't know what the other camps do as far as if they, to the best of my knowledge, Eustace is the only one that collects blankets. I am not sure that that's the case, but I'm pretty sure. So that's pretty cool. And what we do is ask you to make a blanket, or they also have pom-poms called tumbleweeds. Every kid gets one of those, and that is for teaching them kindness and respect for each other and everyone else around you by looking for the good in things. So they do want, they call them tumbleweeds. There's a reason I don't remember, instead of just pom-poms. And I'm sure there's a cute story behind it, which I also don't remember. But we are also collecting tumbleweeds. There is a video in all of my videos. There is a link to a playlist of all the creators, YouTube creators, that have made blankets specifically designed for Boggy Creek, so they fit the parameters. Of course, you don't have to use those, but we appreciate it if you do, for the content creators that made them. But you can make any blankets you want. There is also a tumbleweed tutorial from Boggy Creek that tells you how to make it the way they want it made. It's not, don't use a pom-pom maker. It's too tight, and it doesn't work for their needs. They also, since this is free, they take cash donations. We have a swag shop that says Boggy Blanket Brigade, and that is all of you that make the blankets, your own personal swag. All the proceeds from our swag shop go to Boggy Creek to help sponsor a kid to camp. Last year we raised just shy of $700, so that's pretty exciting. So that's Boggy Creek in 6 minutes or less, just under 6 minutes. Send a kid to camp, help them feel comfortable at camp, send them home with a blanket, and fond memories. And that's all we're asking, and we will start collecting again in August for delivery sometime, probably in the spring of 2026. So if you've watched this video, you don't need to watch it again. But thanks for watching. Thanks so much for all of your donations and help. Camp appreciates it, and so do we. Bye-bye.